Hello everyone. Welcome to Introduction to Node.js course. Okay, by Newton School. So Newton School is an initiative taken by a bunch of IIT graduates. Okay, where we decided to teach you, guide you and teach you the core computer science subjects. Okay, and also computer science technologies like full stack web development and all the core computer science things. Okay, Launchpad is an initiative taken by Newton School where we thought we will teach you the basics of basic fundamentals of computer science. For example, so this is like for people who are looking for a career transition, or you are a student and you want to learn some computer science things where you are not able to learn in your college. Okay, so here we'll be focusing mostly on the fundamentals of computer science instead of like going in depth about it. Like we'll stick to the fundamentals and able to get a broad idea of like how things work. Okay, so like we have divided like all computer science into different categories like Node.js and all these things. So I'll be teaching introduction to Node.js. Okay, so like if you are interested, like to visit the web page and try to create an account and log into the page. So like after logging in, you will be redirected to page like this. Okay, so if you scroll down, you will be able to see all the current Launchpad courses. Okay, so for example, if you can see the complete Python course for beginners. Okay, if you are interested in applying this course, just click on apply. Okay, so it will ask for like a basic details like what is your current location. Okay, my current location like Hyderabad. Okay, so what is the graduation year like 2017. Okay, how did you hear about Newton School through LinkedIn? Maybe like whatever that prefers it. What is the college? Triple Hyderabad. Okay, so like after filling in the details, just click on the submit button. Okay, so click on this. So after like submitting all the basic details, you can just go to this page where you will be seeing the course related things. Okay, so here you will be able to see like all the ongoing lectures and all the completed lectures. Okay, so if you have any doubt relating any session or any topic, you can click on add a doubt button. So where you can post your doubt, basically like what is the title of your doubt, what is the detailed description of your doubt. So if you have any doubt related to some code snippet, you can attach the code snippet over here and attach a playground. So you can click on submit question. For example, if you want to know like what the doubts that your peers had, so we also provide that option called doubts forum. Click on doubts forum. So here you will be able to see all the doubts that your peers had. Okay, so so if you want to know the progress of your learning. Okay, you have started some course and you want to know the progress, so here you'll be able to see the progress. Like if you're like able to complete half of the sessions, so the progress will be like 50%. So if you want to make your hands dirty with some coding, if you want to play around with some code, you can just click on playground. Okay, if you just click on playground. Okay, so you can create some editor and open it. So here you will be able to see all the the an IDE for for the code that you want to write. It supports like multiple like a number of languages which are currently using. Okay, so here you can write some code. Okay, you can input some data to this code and you can get some output, the error and what is compile output and all these things. You will get in a single page. Okay, that is about like Newton School's Launchpad playground thing. Okay, so if so these are all. So here you will be able to see all the tracks. Tracks means the courses that you have currently enrolled in. Okay, so if like after successful completion of the course. Okay, if you have successfully completed all the course like in for all sessions, so you will be able to get a certificate from Newton School, like the course of completion certificate. Okay. Okay, so that is about like introduction part. Like, so we'll go into the course. Okay, so as we completed the fundamentals of Node.js and fundamentals of MongoDB, now we'll try to build a basic application which will test our knowledge until like what we have learned until now. Okay, so what is this that basic project? It's a attendance management system. Okay, so what does it contain? So basically, so you want to give attendance for a mark attendance for the students. Okay, so and you want to update the attendance for a student. Okay, and you want to get the all the attendance details for all the students. So that is a simple broad understanding. So now we'll dive deep into like what are all these things and what is the data looks like on all those things. Okay. Yeah. So we have like four different categories. Okay, one is to get attendance for all details, all students, sorry. Okay, so in that, like, we'll be having three different types of operations. Okay, one operation is to get the attendance for all the students. Okay, other operation is to get the single student attendance by roll number. So instead of like getting attendance for all the students, I would like to get only attendance for a single student. Okay, and if so, for example, like, as we have students, we will be also having classes, right? So I want to know the like attendance for class wise. Okay, so that also we'll try to build. So that is about like a read part. Okay, so what about like creation part? So we'll create attendance two types. One is we can create a multiple student attendance at once, or we can create attendance for a single student at once, single student at a time. Okay, so that is about creation part. How can we update? So we can update the attendance by class. Okay, or we can also update the attendance by roll number of a student. Okay, so how can we delete? We can delete a student record by their roll number. Okay, or we can delete the student records by class. So these are all the operations that will implement right now. So basically all the CRUD operations. So this includes what? So here, like, we'll use Node.js as needed, MongoDB, Mongoose, okay, and Atlas. So MongoDB, Mongoose, and Atlas. Okay. So, and some like frameworks like Express and all these things. For Node.js, we'll be using Express. Okay. So by using all these things, we'll be able to develop these things. And also, like, for testing purposes, we also do the Postman. For API testing, we'll use Postman. Okay. So as we discuss about like how what APIs we're going to build, so we should know about what the data looks like. So here, the schema of the data is this, like, will be in this way. Okay. First one is the roll number. What is the roll number of a student? The type is will be number. Okay. So what is the name of a student? The type will be string. What is the status of the student? So whether it is he or she is present or not. Okay. If a particular student is present, then that value will be true. Then that value will be true. If he or she is not present, that particular value will be false. Okay. So what is the class name? Okay. Either it will be like class A, class B, class C. It will be of type string. Okay. So this is the basic schema for the data, and these are all the things that we are going to build, and these are all the things that we are going to use. Okay. So now we'll start this thing. So we'll create a new folder, naming it as attendance. Okay, we'll open with this VS Code. One second. Yeah. So now what I will do is, like, I will open a terminal. Okay. So new terminal. So as I'm creating a new project, what is the first thing I should do? I should do npm init. So this will create a start point of my project, and also some package.json file where all my project dependencies, project management things will be stored. Okay, npm init -y. Okay, here you can say I got my package.json. What is the start point of my project? It is index.js. Okay, so basically I'll create file name called index.js. Okay, so what are the requirements for me? One is Express. Okay, so I will install Express. Okay, npm install Express. So if you can see, might take some time. Yeah. So here you can see it added to my dependencies. Okay. So this project run with this dependency. What is other thing? I also want to use node-mon, because instead of trying to rerun the file after every save, uh, the moment we click on save button, it will automatically rerun. Okay. So we'll use node-mon for that. Okay. So that will also get added over here, as it is also project development dependency. Okay. So yeah. So here you can see node-mon also got added. So as of now, I think those are fine. So now we'll start with the project. Okay. So what is the first thing that we should require? It is express. Okay. So const express is equal to require of. So basically, I'm importing that express library or express package. Okay. So now what I should do, const, so that as I imported it, I should use it. Yeah. Express of. Okay. So now to create a server, what is the thing? So I should able to listen to that particular listen for incoming requests. Okay, so that's why app dot listen off. Okay, so here I should be able to give some port number. Okay, so that will also make some constant and take a variable name as port. So in which port I want to run this server, in port number 5000. Okay, so basically I will give that port over here. AORT. So as it is a asynchronous function, okay, it will we can do a callback function on this. Okay. So if there is any error, it will return an error. Okay. Okay. So if there is any error, what I will do, I will just print console.log of error. Okay. Else, if there what if there is no error? Okay. Console.log of console.log of server running at port. So I will use this ECMAScript string representation. Okay. So that I can use the dollar symbol over to access the variable names also. Okay. So here I will try to use port. Server running at port 5000 will get answer. So now we'll try to run it. We have saved it. So I will also add some script. Okay. What is that? It is start. Okay. The script is node-mon index. Save this one. So to run it, npm run start. Okay. As you can see, server started running at port number 5000. Okay. So after, so now, so we have successfully able to create start the server, which is currently listening for incoming request at which port 5000 port. So now, so I will create another folder, okay, which have all the roots. Okay. So in this folder, I'll create a file, attendance roots.js. Okay, so basically, why I'm creating different folders and different files are like to maintain a systematic project structure. Okay, so index.js. So now what I will do is const express is equal to require of express. So I'm again importing that express over here. Okay, so app dot use of const router is equal to okay. So here I will try to run all the routing methods. Okay, so I will start with router dot get off. Okay, router dot get off, like what are the different APIs that we have. Okay, we'll start with get. So what is the first API? Get all students attendance. Okay, get all students attendance. So here, like, so I will try to create an API endpoint called mm, get student details. Okay, so this is my API endpoint. So that, like, for this, I will try to create a callback function, request comma response. Okay, request comma response. So whenever, like, we got a so basically whenever we got a hist, what we should send some data. Okay. So now, as of now, we'll keep it empty. Okay. So in the similar way, we'll try to create all the other things. So what is the next one we can create? So get student details. So now we are done with this thing. Okay. So get all student attendance is done. So get single student attendance by roll number. Instead of, like, I will take student details. Single student detail. Okay. So again, we'll have some callback function which have like two parameters, request and response. So this also will keep it empty. So what is the other thing? Dot get off. Get attendance by class details. Okay. So here also we'll use some request comma response. So now we are done with the all get part. Okay. Now we'll move on to the post. Okay, where we'll create the attendance for student. Okay, how can we create an attendance for multiple students at once and create attendance for single student? Okay, router dot post of. Okay, router dot post of. What will be the API endpoint over here? Okay, single student. So here also we'll get some request comma response in a callback function. So like everything, you'll keep it like empty. So like afterwards, like when we able to do all the MongoDB connection and all the schema designing part, then we'll start implementing this API methods. Okay. Router dot post of many students. Okay. So here also we'll get some request comma response. Okay. So router dot post. So like we are done with two parts. Okay, one is single student and one is like multiple students. Okay, what is this actual method? Create attendance for multiple students at once and create attendance for single student. Okay. Any students and single student. Okay, so what is the other one? Router dot put off. Like here, like for updation also we have two different APIs. Okay, what is that? Like we can update it, can update by roll number or we can update by class. Okay, so what we can do? Uh, can right click mark single. Okay, mark multiple. Here also update single request. So I think it is like very similar to the request comma response. So router dot. So again for updation we are using put method update multiple. Okay. So here also we'll try to maintain a generic format like get single, get multiple, okay, get class. Okay. So mark single, mark multiple, marking attendance. Okay, get for is like get like to read the data either in for a single record or for multiple records or for a class. Okay. Similarly, we can update the records like whether we want to update a single record or whether we want to update multiple records. Router dot. So as we're done with these two things also, so we'll also create APS for these two for deletion also. Router dot delete of. Okay. So router dot delete of what is the other things? Uh, so delete single request comma response. Router dot delete of delete multiple. Okay. Request comma response. Okay. So now we are able to create all the routes. Okay, all the routes that we want to use. So we'll save this once. Okay. We'll also save this. We'll remove this and we'll save this. So as we want to use this particular thing over here, so what we'll do is another thing. So we'll just export this particular router. Okay. So how can we export module dot exports is equal to router. Okay. So how can we import in the index.js? Simple, right? Like basically const router. What is this like? We can call it as like attendance routes. Attendance routes. So how can we import that particular exported file as it is a path? We can go to like dot routes slash attendance routes. That's all. Okay. We got some error. What is the error? Like you cannot find module router. Okay. So there seems like there is no thing called router. Okay. So what we'll do is like we'll just comment this thing. Okay. So here we'll send this particular const app is equal to. So we'll create some function. Router is a function. Router is a function. Okay. So in this function, we'll try to access or we'll try to copy paste. So we'll not like say router. We'll say it as like routing. So in this we'll be getting a parameter called router. Okay. So we will export this. We'll export a routing function. We'll export that routing function. Okay. So now like we didn't get any error. You can see over here. We haven't got any error. The server is running at port 5000. It is fine. So we're also able to import that particular attendance routes. Okay. So like after that, what we can do, we can call that particular exported function, and we'll pass that. We'll pass the app. Okay. So now also we haven't got any error. That is it. So as of now, it is working fine. So basically, if you didn't understand what we're doing, I'll just give you a like glance again revamp of it. So basically, we have created multiple functions, multiple API endpoints or multiple API calls, get, put, post, delete, and all these things. Okay, where will all this method will reside? In the express. Okay, so where we have this express imported? Over here, right? This express we have imported over here. Okay, so to use this express, where the after importing, we have using this express through app variable. Okay, so I am sending that app variable as a parameter to this function. Okay, so whenever I call this function, which one will trigger? Okay, so I am calling this function. So we'll go to this file. Okay, and check for the function which is exported. Okay, what is the function that is exported? Routing. So in routing, we'll be getting a parameter called app. Okay, app, which is nothing but express. So basically we have everything in the express. Okay, so express dot get off, or app dot get off, app dot post off, app dot put off, and app dot delete off. So same that we done in the yesterday session also. Okay, but what I'm doing is in yesterday, we have done everything in the same file, but as we are divided all this project into multiple files, so we have passing all the variables as parameter to another files or another functions. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll create another folder called DB. Okay, so in DB we'll be having file called model.js, not model, student.js. Okay, in student, what I will do is I will write the schema of the our database. Okay, so to write, what we should do initially, we should try to import mongoose. So we haven't imported the installed the mongoose in our application. So what I will do is I will just terminate this one. Okay? I will try to do npm install mongoose at the rate 5.11.15. Sorry, 15. So this version mongoose will be installed in my local machine. Okay. If you get see, so in dependencies, mongoose will also get added. Okay, so here you can see mongoose is also got added. Okay, so we'll resume back to the student.js file where we try to create a model. So as we install that one, so we'll just import the installed mongoose. Okay, so we are trying to create a new schema, right? So mongoose also already provides a schema object. Okay, mongoose dot schema. Okay, so what is the thing which you want to create? Like you want to create something called student schema. Okay, 1 second. Student schema. Okay, so how can we create? We just use this newly imported object which is schema from mongoose. Okay, to that object we'll send a parameter like a JSON object where we'll try to initialize all the schema. So what is the schema that we thought? Okay, it is of roll number of type number. Okay, roll number which will be having a type of number. Okay, and also whether it is required or not. Here we'll be having something called required as true. Okay, so similarly, what is the other property which is like name? Okay, for name, what is the type of the property? The type is string. Okay, as it is a name, we will be having type called string. And so whether it is required or not, so it is required, so I'm making it as true. Okay, so what are the other properties? Status. Okay, so for status, what we thought a type of boolean. Okay, so whether it is required or not, so it is also required for us, so I'm making it as required as true. Okay, the final. So basically, what does the status represent? The status represent whether a student is present or not. If a student is present, it will be of value true. If a student is not present, it will be of value false. Okay, simple. So what is the other thing? The class. Okay, class. So in class, all will be having something of type string. Okay, so the class is also required for us. Okay, class is also required for us, so making it as true. Okay, so what are the optional ones? Like, so what are the additional ones that we want to get? So the additional ones are like timestamps. Okay, I want also timestamps because I want to know when a particular attendance is record is created and when a particular attendance record got updated. So that's why I'm also like naming timestamps as true. Okay, so now we have successfully created this schema. But what about a model? So if we want to use like find one and all, like find one and update, find one and remove, update, remove. Like if you want to do any kind of CRUD operation, we'll be able to do only on model, on top of model. Okay, so that's why I will be wrapping the schema using a model. Okay, so const student is equal to new mongoose dot model of. Okay. So what does that mongoose dot model takes? So initially it takes student. Okay. So it will look for student collection in our database. Okay. And also the schema, student schema. Okay. So basically we'll export this thing. Module dot exports is equal to student. Okay. So we have created APIs, we have created a schema, and we also wrapped that schema using a model called student. We also exported that schema. So now what we'll do? We'll create something called controller. So we'll create some fault. Sorry, we'll create a folder named controller. Okay. So where all the controlling of the database operation or the API operations will be happening. Okay. In this controller, we'll be creating a file called controller.js. Okay. So here, what I will try to do is I will try to I will connect the mongoose with our MongoDB Atlas. Okay, and I will also implement the CRUD operations where the so here if you can see 1 second. Yeah. So here if you can see we are getting all we are created all the routes, right? But the actual like the project structure it should be in a way like, so if you try to like develop this particular method over here, it takes a lot of space. Okay, so that's why generic what everyone will do is, so we'll create some routes over here, but we'll call some function. Okay, that function will reside in controller.js. So all the implementation will be happening in this controller.js only. Okay, so here like what we'll do initially, we'll try to import mongoose, require of mongoose. So to connect with it, mongoose dot connect of. So here we'll be having some connection string. Okay, so what is it? Connection string db URI is equal to some connection string. Okay, we'll try to get that connection string now. If you want to like learn about like MongoDB, like do watch the previous sessions. Okay, so now there will be also be able to understand like how we created a MongoDB Atlas account and how we are able to communicate through our application to that cloud storage. Okay, that we will be able to know. So you'll click on connect. Okay, we are trying to connect some our application. Okay, connect your application. We'll just copy this. So this is the connection string for us. It's nothing but a URI, DB URI. You paste it. So what is the password? The password is root. Okay. What is the database name? The database name is test. So this is the DB URI. So and also so yeah, that's all. We'll try to save this once. Okay. So what I will do is I will try to import that particular controller.js in the index.js file. Okay. Const uh, module.exports const. What is the file name? It will like controller, right? Controller is equal to require of controller, and controller it is controller.js. We'll save it. We'll also save this thing. We'll try to save every file. So the command to run is npm run start. Okay. So here you can see we got some depreciation warnings while connecting to this database. So how we can resolve those? So we'll just add these parameters. Like we just copy this and paste, send those as a parameters. Okay. Start it. So here we are not getting any message like whether it is connected or not, but we are able to eliminate the warnings, but we are not able to see whether the database, this mongoose is able to connect to this atlas or not. So as it is a synchronous thing, we can do dot then on this. Like if it is successful connecting, it will trigger dot then functions, dot then function. Okay. Then what we'll do console dot log of connected to TV. Okay. So what if like there is any error by connecting? So it will trigger catch function, which is where it sends like error value. What is the error that caused? So we'll just console dot log it. So here we got like okay, it is successfully connected to database. Okay, so now we are able to connect to the database. And so one more thing, what we should do, we should also import that model over here. Okay, const student is equal to require of where we have created it. Uh, we have created it in the so we have created in the DB in DB it is student.js. We'll import it again. Okay, so we got some error while importing that. We'll see what are those errors. Second argument to model must be a string. Okay, not a schema. Make sure you are calling model. So basically, what it is saying is, so here we should call mongoose.model of. So okay, so basically it is not capital M, it is small m. Okay, so by reading this error statement only, we're able to understand. Make sure you are calling mongoose dot small model, small m. Okay, so now we didn't get any errors. So basically, we have successfully created API routes. We have successfully created schema and wrapped a model around it, and we also successfully we are also successfully able to connect the mongoose with the atlas. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll try to uh, implement some functions. So here we have this attendance routes, right? So we'll try to eliminate these things over here. Okay. So in this, we'll call the functions. What is those functions? Get single, okay, get multiple, get class, mark single, You might be wondering where are these methods. Be patient for 2 seconds. You will be understanding. Update single, update multiple, delete single, delete multiple. Okay. So now we should figure out where these methods are and how so we will be implement these methods in this controller.js, and we'll export these methods from here and import those methods in the attendance routes. Okay. So now, as of now, we'll just create a skeleton methods. Okay. So what are all those methods? Okay. Get single, get multiple, get class. So while creating only, we'll try to export them. Export const get single. Okay. So what is this? It is a function. Okay. So in the similar way, we'll try to create functions. So for this, like it is get multiple, get class. So what are the other things? Mark single and mark multiple. Is mark single, mark multiple, update single, update multiple, delete single, delete multiple. Okay. So update single. So now I'll try to give you a glimpse what I'm actually doing over here. Okay. So I'm trying to implement some methods, some set of methods over here, and I'm trying to export these methods. Okay. So if I'm trying to export these methods from here, we can import these methods anywhere. So what I'm doing, so I'll try to import all the exported methods in the control.js over here. So whenever I get whenever there is a get request, I will try to trigger this function. Okay, where is this function residing in? This function is imported from this controller.js. So whenever I hit this method, whatever the code that we have written over here, that will execute. So basically, we'll do some MongoDB connections, and we'll try to retrieve some data and return it. Okay, instead of like making it messier over here, we just so if you look, it is very simple. Okay, so if you want to do the implementation, you can just go to the controller and you can see all the implementation. So the roads will be like very simple to see for you. Okay. So now we'll try to import all the exported ones. Okay. How we can import const? We have like multiple, right? Is equal to require of where are all those methods imported in roots, in roots. No, sorry, not in roots. In controller. In controller.js. Okay. So what are all the methods? So methods are get single, get multiple, get class, mark single, mark multiple. Okay. Update single, update multiple, delete single and delete multiple. Okay. Here, like 1 second. So if you can see, I am importing something. Okay, I'm importing some JavaScript file. Okay, into like multiple values. Okay, because in controller.js, I'm exporting some functions, some set of functions, and I'm importing the same functions in the controller.js only. Yeah. I'm importing the same functions in the control attendance route. So exporting some functions in the controller Okay, importing the same in the routing functions. So whenever there is some get single hit, so instead of like writing the code in this callback function, I will trigger a function. Okay, where does this function reside in controller.js? So the whole implementation will be written over here. Okay, this is for like maintaining project structure. Okay, now we'll try to save it, and we'll try to save it over here also. So there are some errors we are able to still see. Okay, we'll see like what are the errors. Okay, so export const. So these are like errors that we are getting in the controller.js. So maybe it is like const export. No. So what we'll try to do is instead of making export over here, we'll export in the module.exports is equal to we'll remove all these things. Okay, yeah. So now there are no errors. Okay, basically what we are doing, we are creating some functions. Okay, and we are exporting them using module.exports, and we are importing the same functions in the attendance routes also. Whenever we get a hit, so like any kind of API hit, so we'll trigger a function instead of a callback function. Okay, basically it is also a callback function, but we are naming that function and which is like written somewhere else. Okay, which is implemented somewhere else. Okay, so now what we'll do is. Um, so now we'll try to implement some get single. Okay, what we'll do? So for get single, we'll be getting request comma response. Okay, for basically like for everything. Okay, we'll be getting request comma response. So as we get request comma response, we'll be sending response dot send off 200. Not 200. We'll be sending some text. Uh, attendance management system to verify whether we're able to like link all the files correctly, whether we're able to like trigger the API and get to this particular function, like trigger this particular function or not. So it is for just testing purpose, whether we are going in the right flow or not. Okay. So we'll start with index.js. Okay, it will trigger attendance route. In attendance route, we already have this thing. Okay, const single. Okay, so we'll try to now go to the localhost 5000 slash. Okay, here I forgot to add this thing. Yeah. So what is the API endpoint? It is get single. Okay, so we are able to see attendance management system. So basically, the flow we are trying to build is in the right way. So initially, so we'll just revamp like what we did, like, recap what we did. So we install, like we created a project folder. Okay, we install what are the required libraries that we need. Okay, Mongoose, Express, Notepad. Okay, and we start with the index file where we initially listening for some incoming connections, okay, at port number 5000. So after that we are able to implement some routes, API routes, which we discussed. Okay, and we like implemented a schema for our, like, not this one. Yeah, So we have implemented some schema and wrapped a model around it, and later on we are able to do some create some controller file where we'll be having all the connections part and the implementations part. So basically, controller means how your code actually works. So for example, if you try to hit API, if you want to update the data, how will the data get updated using some code? So basically the whole code will be written over in the controller.js. Okay. So as you are able to successfully get this response, okay. So our next task is to implement all these functions, okay, and also store this result in the MongoDB, okay. So for storing, we are also able to do this creation of uh, the model, okay. So everything is set up for our project. So in the next session, we'll try to implement all these functions and get a that's it. Like after that, we are done implementing a basic Node.js project, which includes MongoDB and Express. Okay, so that's it for today's session. We'll connect in the next session. Thank you.